Oh, Friday has landed! Finally, man! What a week! We've got teasers upcoming of when the next big WoW content patch should be. They're going to alter the gear in M+, so it might be worthwhile. It's all going on, and it's great to see all of you. We have been on a journey ourselves this week. We are working on the Stone Legion Generals, and we butchered a corpse and processed it for the feeding to people. We have done all those things in those last few days. It's been a busy, busy, busy 7 days for all of us. We've got some gearing going on. Finn's got too much goddamn gold. It's unreal, man. It's unreal, the amount of stuff that gets going on in a single week. It's really quite crazy. It really is quite interesting how much stuff we get done. But we're always having fun along the way. And that's the important thing. I hope you guys are all feeling tremendous. I hope you've had a reasonably good week. And I hope next week is going to be even better as we get rid of all this stuff that weighs us down. Because it's Friday. It's time to kick back. It's time to put our feet up. It's time to relax. It's time to get good. It's time to hear a response from the Guild Slayer. The Guild Slayer. Yes, I read the comments where people were just like, kill me from this guy. So we'll have a quick response from the Guild Slayer. But Lovely Bex has prepared for us a multitude of stories for today. And a couple of them have caught my eye as ones I want to get into. As always, going forward, I do go in blind into these things. So I'm kind of always curious as to how it's going to be. And see how fun it's going to be. But let's see what our Guild Slayer... He's called it the Guild Slayer Requiem. It's still that ever flair for the dramatic that goes along with all this stuff. We do have that flair for the dramatic to go with it, which is fine. It's fine. It's okay. We're not going to freak out or anything. Hello again, Preacher, and your ambivalent congregation of souls called your chat. I cannot overstate how honoured I am that we'd use my story in the first drama time of 2021. You calling me the devil is certainly one of the high points of my WoW career. So as a little thank you, here is some of that weeby furry art that I managed to dig up. One of my furry friends drew it back in Mists of Pandaria as a sort of group photo before my race change. You can see my cool death mantle-clad Worgen rogue performing an impressive power squat in his hot pink yoga pants near the bottom. I am not a furry myself, but I will always remember them as the friends who stood by my side despite all the terrible things I've done. Yeah. Okay. Sure, let me cut over to here. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. There's definitely some snuggies going on. Guilty. Guilty just flies across the screen. Not that menacing, the old Death Mantle rogue, I don't think. Not that guilty. You know, it's a thing. Jesus. Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Oh, man. Sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus. Yikes. Just a yikes. Oh, man. Big sadness spreads through us all. Okay. Right, I'm going to start us off here. Because I like the intrigue. This one's got me intrigued. I've got two here. One, I screwed my GM out of Frostmourne. But this one, I like the sound of. I think it fits in with our ridiculous protagonist in We Happy Few. The Guild Simp got ghosted. And this will feature the one and only wonderful supporter of all our content, Mr. Brad. Okay, so as a little reminder once again, I have no idea what this story is about. Are we ready? I assume we are. This is literally just Nathanos, though. We'll see. Preacher, I never watch Drama Time, but a majority of my raid team does, and they've told me to write this in. So here goes. So, to your raid team, thank you. I have been raiding with the same guild for all of Battle for Azeroth. We're a cutting-edge raiding guild for all of BFA, but we usually get cutting-edge a little bit later into the tier. I'm a Resto Druid main, and the other person in this story is a Windwalker monk called Brad. Brad has always been raiding with us since before I joined. He's a good player, but late into the tiers, his lack of desire to play and progress always shows. He usually leaves the raid team and stops playing as we get to the final boss of the raid. So we've all bumped into these kind of characters. Not unusual. Comes back, all hyped up, ready to go, and then the reality of progress sets in. I'm kind of bored now. We've been on this boss for like a week. I'm bored as fuck. I like Brad. He's a good friend. He's a good player. We play together often. We push keys, PvP, you know, all the usual. So here comes patch 8.3, Nyalotha. After an absence, of course, Brad returns to the game. He's left at the start of a Shara progress. What a dick. You can't leave on progress of the last boss. What a dick. And after some convincing, they say, okay, you can come back to the raid team as our 22nd or 23rd raid member. Once Mythic progression starts, it's apparent that a few of our core team aren't Mythic Raiders. And because Brad is a monk, he is brought with us to be the monk buff man, as we had to replace a brewmaster trial who couldn't handle Wrathion. Oh. He just needed to learn how to stand perpendicular. If he learned how to stand perpendicular, he would have been fine. Brad does well. And after 2 weeks, Brad is back as a core raider. Progress going well. We're 5 out of 12 after a few weeks until the raid team goes to shit. And who causes our raid team to crumble? Which boss forces our raid team to fall apart? Zanesh. Of course it was Zanesh. I can't for the life of me explain to you how terrible our guild is at Zanesh. We're a North American guild, so maybe it is our unfamiliarity with soccer, or it's our public school system. But we can't Zanesh. We don't know how to Zanesh. How does one Zanesh? Zanesh took us 87 wipes. Yikes. Yikes. Progress, that's a lot of just instant death, man. 86 times. Whew. Progress continues, but slowly we finally reach the mother of all fuck-ups, Il'gynoth. It has taken us 3 months to stand before Il'gynoth. Our raid leader told the guild that going forward, we're going to be dropping melee in favour of ranged for the final 3 bosses, as range are the superior race. Melee are, of course, terrible. After our disaster with our previous brewmaster, we recently recruited a much better brewmaster on Raden. And poor Brad was told that his monk was the first to be dropped. Brad didn't complain, agreed, and decided to swap. He was going to become a mage. Our raid leader, a Ret Paladin, was also going to re-roll. One of our Havoc Demon Hunters, as well as a rogue, ended up just leaving the guild because they were basically told they could no longer play. After 2 weeks of progression and reclears, both Brad and our raid leader were geared up. They're strong. And we felt like we are ready to down Il'gynoth. Except for one major issue. Oh god, this is going to give some of you guys PTSD. Corruption gear. Brad had everything he needed on his new mage. He had the essences. He had the M+ gear. Mythic raid gear. Blaster Master Azerite traits. Special Mechagon bracers. Jesus Christ, do you remember how much shit they piled on mages to make them good? He had the Font of Power Ashara trinket. And the PvP trinket. Everything but corruption. And God did it show on the meters. He was so much lower on the meters compared to our mages. I know this upset him because he always prided himself on being a good player with good logs. I could see the writing on the wall. I knew eventually this would crush him. And he would once again CB fucking A with this raid team. I tell you again, audience, Brad was a good friend and a good player. I like Brad. I want Brad to stay. I decide I am going to help Brad. I personally bought Brad his first pair of 12% mastery legs for 660,000 gold. This guy's a chronic raid team leaver. And you spent 660,000 gold on someone you know is going to leave. You know it. Later that week, our guild took our heads out of our asses and Il'gynoth fell. Okay, Finn. Is this Fingal? Is this Finn? It sounds like Finn. Pocket change to our boy Finn. We move on to, of course, the Carapace of N'Zoth, which was a shit show, but for many different reasons. Brad was still the lowest of the damage than all three of our other mages, and he was not pleased with his blue pass on Il'gynoth. And I took pity on him. I felt bad for him. And what did I see while browsing the auction house but a 9% mastery BOE ring from Mythic Ny'alotha? We want him here. It cost me just over 1 million gold. And the raid went on for another 2 weeks after that little purchase, as we re-cleared and progressed on Carapace. So let's keep a running tally. So far, our guy has spent roughly 1.7 million gold on Brad, just to keep him playing the game. That's it. Just to keep him playing the game. During our re-clear up to Carapace, I got a BOE ring with 12% mastery on it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Our guild policy is this. If you will use the ring, equip it. It's yours. If you don't need it, then someone else in the guild can buy the item for a third of what it costs in the AH, and the gold goes to the guild bank. I didn't need the ring, but some of our raiders did. At the time, that ring was on sale for 1.4 million gold. Of course, 2 of our mages bid on the item, and then I got a whisper from Brad. Mate, I could really use that ring. I asked him how big it would be for him over the 9% ring he already had, that I bought for him, right? I just bought you a 9% one, and these guys don't have a mastery ring? He sent me a sim of the upgrade, and then followed it with these words in caps lock. Or these letters, I should say. ALOT. But Brad doesn't have any gold, because Brad doesn't stick around for farming or boosting or anything like that. So if it was going to help out my friend, who I liked playing with, I would have to bid on it for him. So I bid 550,000 gold on a ring that had dropped for me. This is so fucking cringe, dude. God damn it. I would spit on you. I would spit on you so fast. I cannot tell you. I almost want to see it, but it never would. I cannot tell you what joy I would take of you trying to do this shit in my guild. Oh, it would be beautiful. It would be heaven. I would be so happy to see somebody try and do this in my guild. Oh my god. Oh, it would be brutal. It would be a massacre. An absolute massacre. Of course, the guild started asking questions. Why would a resto druid need the ring? Well, I piped up. It's not for me. It's for Brad. He hasn't got any gold. But I don't want to shortchange the guild bank. The guild laughed their fucking asses off. Almost immediately after me saying it, my official guild note changed to Guild Simp. As they should. It was already coming, to be honest. People had heard about me spending so much gold on Brad and had started labeling me a simp already. But at this point going forward, it was now official. They then changed my role in Discord in the guild, and I was now just the simp. None of the mages had more gold than I did. So I won the ring and I traded it to Brad. I mean, that's just bad for your guild at this point, right? You're actually just dicking over your entire guild at this point. It's not even funny. It's just fucking sad. It's just really fucking sad at this point. You're just dicking over the rest of your team. We spent the rest of that night progressing on Carapace until the raid ended. At this point, we basically had Carapace dead. We got him to sub 10% a number of times and knew that we were about to stand before the eyeballed one himself, Mr. N'Zoth. Brad left the guild the next morning at 4 a.m. when nobody was online. We all knew it was coming, but it was so good. Oh, man. Oh, you fucking loser. Oh, my God. Brad hadn't said anything to me or to anyone else. He was just gone. Turns out he had joined another guild that was already part progressed on N'Zoth. He never responded to anyone's messages. I have known Brad for 2 years. We even follow each other on Instagram and Snapchat. We used to text, chat on Discord every night with the guild doing keys, play other games, and just hang out. He just completely ghosted me and fucked off everyone else. Eventually, our guild did kill Carapace and N'Zoth and got Cutting Edge. But while we were progressing N'Zoth, I saw Brad post his Battle.net update. 12 out of 12, N'Zoth dead. Right in the middle of our pull. After we killed N'Zoth, Brad was perma-banned from our Discord, and the guild vowed to never let him back again. To this day, the guild still makes fun of me and calls me a simp daily. Most of us expected him to leave as usual, but this time, when he left us, he continued to raid and even finish the goddamn tier. To this day, he's still playing World of Warcraft. His guild has killed N'Zoth over 10 times, and he has been in every single kill. To make things worse... I found out he never equipped the 12% mastery ring that I looted and paid the guild bank for. We never saw it, but our best guess is that he sold it on the auction house and then left the guild that night. I have reached... This fucking guy. This fucking guy was like, "You're really going to buy that for me?" Sure, dude. I've reached out to him through Discord. Why? Why? Why have you done that? You tell me why. You then tried to reach out to him. I have DM'd him on social media. I have sent him texts and in-game. He has never responded back. I don't care about the gold I spent. I just want to know what happened. Oh, I can tell you. He didn't give a shit about you. That's the end of the story. That's the beginning, middle, the end. He couldn't give a fuck about you spending gold on him. He doesn't care. He never cared. He don't give a fuck. Couldn't give a shit. Oh my God. Oh, that is funny though. That is fucking funny. You can't buy a friendship and give a shit. You just had this guy who kept buying him stuff. Oh my God. That is painful. Your guild should never let that slide, by the way. Your guild should never let that slide. Alright, we need a guild name. No description of what the guild name might be. Like a theme or anything. We just need a guild name. And Torios and Inglefur will be part of this one. The Yammers. I like that. Yeah, praise the Yam. I am what I am. I like it. The Yammers will do just nicely. Alright, this one is titled, I Am Not a Meme. We'll be the judge of that, thank you. We shall be the judges of that. I am not a meme. Okay. Alright, the Yammers. Yes. The Yammers it will be. 100% a meme. Guilty. I am what I am. Okay. Hello. Before this story starts, I have a confession to make. I am a survival hunter. That's right. You heard me. A rarity, a unicorn. I am fucking special. You're not special. You're just shit damage. Nah, you're alright. You'll do fine. Loads of guilds looking for melee right now. You'll be fine. No, for real though, Preacher. I am indeed a survival hunter. And I am the only one I have encountered since the new expansion has started. I can tell you there's about 3,000 of you across the entire game. There's about that many. For years, I have mained a rogue. Even back when I was 8 years old in vanilla, I was a rogue. Come the end of BFA, I got tired as shit of the class. As it's what happens when you play basically the same thing for 15 years. With the XP boost, I leveled all kinds of stuff to figure out what I wanted to play. Checking forums and Wowhead and Icy Veins, your videos, everything. But I only had fun on one. The Survival Hunter. So fuck it. I'm going for it. I had just recently joined a new guild, the Yammers, and wanted to hopefully get in the raid. Is this going to be a story about a survival hunter trying to raid? Because I don't think I can take the sadness. It's going to be so sad. Maybe it works out. Alright, maybe it works out for him. Who knows, right? There could be a really happy ending to this story about how he, like, was awesome. This guild was very chill. I mean, if your guild had the choice between a marksman hunter or a survival hunter, it's about the same, right? This guild was very chill compared to my older ones. No real requirements to get into the raid group other than be a decent dude and have at least an item level of 170. That's pretty low. So that is what I did. Once I hit 60, I realized that, hey, survival is fucking sick. AoE is insane if you know what you're doing. It is. It is. And single target honestly isn't that bad, right? Not like painfully bad. I did some dungeons and M0s with guildies, including the guild leader and raid leader, and the Ellie Shaman and Holy Priest. All were surprised when they found that, hey, survival isn't complete shit. Which it isn't. Survival is actually really fun. Come raid day, we all join up outside CN and shoot the shit. What's CN? Oh, Castanatria. For some reason, the two dickweeds, Torios and Inglefur, had apparently ignored my existence up until this point, even after being guildies for 3 months. As we enter that raid and see the slick vampire on the balcony spawn trash, Officer 1 takes notice that I, in my cool-ass Drust helm with my cool tiger called Peckerhead, am a survival hunter. Before we pull trash, the raid leader starts to go over what this fight is for the people who didn't look into it. This is when Inglefur interrupts. What in the fuck is that, mate? What is that, though? What is that? Is that a survival hunter, though? Who plays meme specs? Are we allowed in meme specs in the guild, mate? What even is that? The guild leader says he enjoys that spec, and it's allowed with our guild rules. Which was reassured by the raid leader and my previous Mythic Dungeon groupies. Another officer, Torios, doesn't pipe up but sends me a message in the pink. Yeah, but for real, you can't play that. As our raid leader continues to explain the fight and answer questions, he carries on. And on another note, if you are going to play survival, that isn't even the right fucking legendary. Now, me being me, and wanting to play how I want to play, my $10, ended up creating the Wildfire Cluster legendary. While all the info sites and videos were saying to use Soulforge Embers. Granted, almost nobody plays survival, so I can see why they would recommend that, considering it's Beast for Beast Master, I think. But I liked Wildfire Cluster, you know? I liked the Azerite trait back in the day. I like it. So I went with it when it dropped in the other side. Also, who wants to throw flares around during combat? and into tar traps. I know I don't. I want to blow shit up with grenades. So I responded with this. Actually, Wildfire Cluster basically doubles my Wildfire Bomb damage. It's basically a second Raptor Strike. To which he took this information and responded with a, "You are such a fucking noob." Well, alrighty, I thought to myself. Still in the raid, though. So... Luckily for me, a lot of people have no idea what they're doing on this boss. After the first shriek, the front left pillar is surrounded by blood. After his phase with the bouncy circles, half the raid was dead. Raid leader calls for a wipe with only 6 people alive. I did not die. Also, I was 4th. And Torios, who was still alive, was in 8th. Uh-oh. To be fair, to be fair, he did die by getting stuck in Shriekwing's circle while he did his walk, but that wasn't a good enough excuse for me. Oh no. Second pull. Basically the same thing happens, except now Torios survives until we all wipe. And yeah, he's much higher than me in DPS. But to be fair, he was playing MM, which is broken. We're jumping to the 6th pull. We finally beat the boss. I try my absolute hardest to min-max. And this bastard Torios beats me by like 50k. I'm number 4 on the damage. He's at 3rd. I will not let this slide. On to Huntsman. I swear to God, if you fucking brag about Huntsman DPS, we all know what you did. Don't do it. Don't let me down like that, right? You're representing survival hunters throughout this entire game right now. I'm just pre-warning you, son. You coming here with that Huntsman DPS Humpty Bumpty. On to Huntsman. Oh, thank God. He died to Sinseeker. I ended up dying to a Sinseeker shot because I had accidentally used Turtle while doing my burst earlier in the fight. What? What are you saying? Wait, what? I ended up dying from a Sinseeker because I had accidentally used my Turtle while doing my burst earlier in the fight. I assume you mean taking burst? What burst, though? Big sad. Okay. We'll get him next time, I tell myself. Fat-fingered. Ah, you fat-fingered turtle. Oh, okay. Alright, I can see that. Well, this caused Mr. Marksman, Torios, to make a comment about me being the meme hunter. Because I had died so early in Fat-Fingered Turtle, other people in the raid started chipping into the mockery. Oh no! I don't care about being teased though. I don't care. I'm a strong survival hunter. Considering a lot of the other guys teasing me have done mythics with me and they know I'm capable. Or have become good friends. It's the fact that Torios though and that Ingolfer at this point apparently told the guild leader I shouldn't be allowed to raid as survival. To be fair, the guild leader stuck to his word and told him to chill out. It's normal mode Nathria. It's fine. I did find out about these messages from said guild leader. I had made one mistake so far. While we were raiding normal. It happens. And I consistently pulled more damage than the sub-rogue officer, Ingolfer, and I had been on par with Torios playing Marksman. Which, by the way, wasn't sub-rogue broken the first week of Nathria? Regardless, if survival is such a meme spec, shouldn't he be out DPSing me? Whatever. We down Huntsman. Torios is 2nd. I'm 3rd. Ingolfer, though, is 7th. We went on to kill Hungering Destroyer, Darkvein, Zymox, and the Sun King that week, where I ended up out DPSing both of these officers on Zymox and Sun King. Sun King damage. Bruh, really? Bruh. Come on now. Let's not flex with our Sun King damage, okay? Let's not do that. Now, I will be honest with you all. Mainly, they both died during Zymox. And I did loads of AoE on Sun King. But whatever. I still was ahead. And that's what matters. I then come to find out the sad news, ladies and gentlemen. That Monday before the reset, Ingolfer and Torios went to the guild leader and raid leader, and they say, I shouldn't be allowed to raid. Their argument is as follows. He plays one of the worst specs in the game, and eventually we want to move on to heroic. I have no idea why we should carry this guy the whole time when he's basically obsolete. Everything he's doing is literally a meme. I learned this from both the guild leader and the raid leader because I had become a part of their little Mythic Plus group, along with the Ellie Shaman and the Holy Priest. We were homies at this point. Torios and Ingolfer were apparently long-time friends of the guild leader and have been officers in the guild since Mists of Pandaria. Me, being a new friend of the guild leader, told them that if my DPS is bad this next week, then he will consider benching me. I felt very sad at this, but a chance to prove myself nonetheless. The guilder explained that he just doesn't want tension with these two, and since I'm relatively new, it was up to me to prove myself. If I prove myself, or basically perform exactly as I had last week, then both he and the raid leader will tell them both to fuck off and let me raid. Normally, I would have just G-quit, since I feel I had already proved myself, but no. They had called me a meme. They were going to know. They were going to learn today. I was going to let them know that I am not a meme. Kind of are, though. Right? Little bit. Alright, let's go. So, next raid time. Proving ourselves. Invite, summons, buffs, flasks. Bring the noise! I'm shooting the shit with the guys in Discord. Then that little Discord sound happens. Back to back, Torios and Ingolfer join the raid channel. Our Arcane Mage was currently talking about how he was surprised Fire Mage was doing so well the first week of Nathria, and that he might switch over. Of course, this prompted them, as Ingolfer interrupts. Yeah, mate, feel that though. Saying that though, I don't think it's you who should change, you know what I mean? There are some people in this raid team, not saying who, not naming names or nothing or anything like that. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but some people in this raid, mate, who are playing really bad specs right now. Don't know if you've noticed or not. Not pointing anyone out. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Don't get it. Not saying names, just some people. So it's Torios adds in. Yeah. I bet some of those guys will be weeded out for not helping the team move forward. I don't get how people can play meme specs if they're supposed to be trying to progress. I ignore them. Guild leader and raid leader ignore it. Nobody's really biting. Except the Ellie Shaman. What's a good voice for an Ellie Shaman? Yeah, no. I think that any spec is viable. It's not like we're some world first raid group, you know what I mean? We're only doing normal mode. I don't know why you two got to act elitists in the normal raid, because you could just flame shock it anyway. Before anyone says anything, the raid leader just tells everyone, will you chill out? We've not even started the raid yet. Let's go. The first boss, we wipe again. The Shriekwing normal mode's a boy, by the way. An absolute boy. We wipe once. Torios, lols, dies in the circle phase, leading to a domino effect of red shit everywhere. We kill it on the second pull. Same DPS rank order, though. Torios is ahead of me. Ingolfer is below me. On Huntsman, I am tasked with throwing a freezing trap on the shade before the second bear dog thing. Ingolfer says, better not let him do that, mate. I'll do it better because I'm playing a proper spec, you know what I mean? Fair enough. I give a shit that I don't have to trap. But here we go. But he still brings up that meme shit. Huntsman is down. Hungry Destroyer is down. On Lady Darkvein, Ingolfer and Torios have made multiple meme spec jabs at me. No response though. I've not bitten once. I'm not putting my hook in. These are those guides on the raid that just want you to shit talk for no reason. So I decided to make myself a little macro. /yell, in all caps, I am not a meme, /cast wild spirits. That'll fix it. That's the grown-up approach. It's not annoying for literally everybody else who was like maybe even supporting you in some way. You know? Everybody loves yell macros in the middle of the raid. They're really good. They're really good. I knew there were a few ads in this fight. Which fight is it? Oh, is it Darkbane? Okay. I knew there were a few ads in this fight. And if I timed my wild spirits right... Oh, this is big brain raiding right now. I could AoE the shit out of them and the boss. And pad my damage. It's not padding. Look, dude. Wait till you get to Mythic where that is absolutely required in every single way. I know padding is not necessarily the right thing to do. It's not padding. They need to die. They line up actually really perfectly with wild spirits. It's a requirement of the fight. It's good. But I just wanted to out DPS Torios so that he would shut the fuck up. Isn't he also a hunter though? Don't know about that, mate. I also made a point to spam this macro when I use it, so that my character would repeatedly scream in his face, I am not a meme. You know, we were all with you up until this point. But I haven't even seen you use this macro, and I'm already annoyed by it. I really am. I'm actually already irritated by it. I haven't even seen it. Just the idea of it happening is annoying. We do the fight. The first ad drops and I spam it. Laughter is chat. Even from the guild leader and raid leader. The only thing said about halfway through the fight from Torios is, but you are though. We one-shot the boss and I am second on DPS. Torios is 4th. Inglefur 14th because his ass died trying to line up those orb thingies. If you want to know, our top DPS... Ooh, any guesses? Who's the dominant? Who's the actual alpha chat of this entire memery in normal mode? Oh, it's not a Windwalker. That's a good... It's not an Unholy either. No, it's the ever-present. It's the Boomy. Full Moon Boomy. The fucking Boomy. Our top DPS is a Boomy, who is a fucking god. So I wasn't ever dreaming of hitting that spot. Can we recruit him? Our Moonkin can't spell his own name. He doesn't even know how many letters are in it. It's actually really sad. It is. I'm not joking, by the way. I'm not joking. Our Boomy can't spell his own name. It's really kind of sad. It is. So, recruiting Moonkin, if there's one around. If you see one, it would be nice. It really would. We go on to kill Zymox and Sun King. We're on Sun King, again got second above Torios. I can't believe you compare your Sun King damage. Before we hit a wall on the Council of Blood. Inglefur can't do the partner dance and stands in melee, doing a shitload of damage to other melees who didn't get out of the pools. Smart. After the raid leader, the guild leader, after the raid was finished, the guild leader, the raid leader, and myself, and our little group go on our M+ push on a different Discord channel. As we're playing, our friend Mr. Torios pops in and asks, can we have a little chat with the officers about one of the raiders? If you've got 5 minutes, just a little chat about one of the raiders. I know it's about me, of course. Everybody knows it's about me. Our raid leader, who's chill as fuck, just says, we all know what this is about. Just say whatever the fucking shit is you're going to say. Oh boy. Here we go. Torios. Honestly, I don't know why you don't just play MM or even BM. Survival is a shitty spec. And I just feel like later on, you're not going to be able to compete with the rest of our damage going forward. You're just not going to scale particularly well. And we would hate to have to kick you from the raid group after providing you with items. What the fuck? Is this the approach he's taking? This dude is trying to act like he's concerned that I will not be able to perform. That's his approach? This is the guy who literally went to the guild leader and the raid leader and said, I shouldn't be allowed to raid. And this is the way he's going with it. Our guild leader and raid leader, though, baller to the max. Called him right out on it. Along with saying that my DPS is fine. It's better than his. And that we aren't even a hardcore guild. We're doing fucking normal mode, bro. So who cares? The best comment was from the raid leader. Bro, you're moaning at a survival hunter. I'm playing demonology. If you want him to go MM because you aren't on my ass about... Why aren't you on my ass about going affliction? He plays that spec because that is what he wants to play. Question mark. You're in elitist chat. Bad chat. Bad elitist chat. Question mark, question mark, question mark. He plays that spec because he wants to play that spec. And if I remember correctly, he was better than you in most of the fights tonight. Torios completely ignored that last part, but he did respond with this. I did want to bring up, actually, though, you should be playing Affliction. But I know that you're really, really, really good at demonology, so I wasn't going to say anything, but you genuinely should be Affliction, by the way. This hypocritical son of a bitch just wasn't going to stop. Also, Inglefur has been talking to me after the raid, and one thing he brought up is that you were using a yell macro, and that caused him to die because your /Y chat box covered up his character, and he couldn't see mechanics going on, especially on Zymox. I was laughing my ass off. The only thing I could say is, dude, I don't know what it is you have against me, or whether you hate MM and wish you could play survival, or whatever. I'm playing fine. I'm doing great in our raid. We're killing the bosses. I only even made that macro because you kept calling me a meme the entire night. Literally nobody else is complaining but you two on your own. Seriously, just tell me what you have against me, because you have never even spoken to me up until last week. His reply was, as you can imagine, we should play what's best for the raid group. What will get us further faster. He's just trying to help everyone. He's a kind-hearted soul. After that, he left the voice chat. I was assured I was fine and that I will have a spot on the raid team no matter what. The next night, Inglefur left the guild. Oh, while I was doing world quests, which I'm not really sure why, and I couldn't give a fuck to ask. Torios quit the raid team for, in his words, personal reasons. Although he occasionally comes every now and again and still compete DPS-wise, but he never speaks to me. Or really anyone for that matter. He also asked the guild leader to unofficer him, and a holy priest took his place. I know this is a long one, but I wrote this to reassure everyone listening. Survival hunters are here. We are real. We are not a meme. I never would have thought that my choice of a spec would be that big of a deal in a casual raiding guild. We have made it to 5 out of 10 heroic, and we are happy. Thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. And most importantly, I am not a meme. Kind of are, though. Kind of are a little bit. Could be worse. He could be playing BM. Which, you know, that could happen. That could happen. All right, we promised this last week. Many of you asked, please do it. We've all been there. We've all been there. It happens. Is this from Fingal? 10 out of 10 leadership, yeah. Once you set the... I mean, there's a line to be drawn, right? And it's awkward, and most of them don't have it, who make these casual, friendly guilds. There's a difference between allowing someone to play a suboptimal spec, but they play it really well and easily outplay the rest of your players. That's fine, right? Allowing people to like just play like absolute arse, even if they're playing the best spec, is not as good. All right. I've been in this group. Let's see how this goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. I hail from the beautiful green state of Oregon in the United States of America. But I'm currently finishing my final semester of university classes studying data science in the abysmal, disgusting state of Idaho. I feel like the fight between Oregon versus Idaho is like bum fights, but I could be wrong. I've never visited either, but it feels a little bit like that, right? You guys need to let me know on that one. Is that close, America? I don't know. Idaho has potatoes. Oregon isn't even green. You're right. Oregon versus Idaho. What would you do in Oregon? What is Oregon famous for? Idaho has got nothing in it. As far as I know, Idaho is like one farm. And that's the old place. Is it famous for anything? It seems to be that it's legal for shrooms. Okay. Fair enough. Pizza spices? Guess. The state of Oregon. Okay. But I'm currently finishing data science in Idaho because tuition sucks balls and this place was cheap. I play on the horde side in America. Now, Preach, there is something you must understand, okay? I am no pro gamer, but I'm also not a shitter. I'm in the middle, around painfully average. That's fine. It's more than enough for like 95% of everything you want to do in any video game ever. Though I pull the long hours as if I was good at the game. I'm a resto druid, our second one of today, in the Shadowlands, and have largely enjoyed my time. My guild is super laid back, and we raid normal and heroic, although we have run into some issues with Nathria thus far. However, that is not what I'm writing to you about. I am writing to you about the Mythic 7 Halls of Atonement that I was subjected to. Okay. I am sat here writing this at 1:30 a.m. I should probably just be in bed. And I think that M+ run was the worst dungeon run I have ever been in my entire life. I decided tonight would be a good night for some keys, as this coming week I would be busy with finals, packing in the usual end of semester monotony that I'm close to being done with. This is where I went wrong. The first few keys I did to warm up were lobby keys that I just wanted to plug away on and have some fun. I found some surprisingly good groups with whom we pushed some of their keys up with ease. I then joined a +5 Halls of Atonement key, as that dungeon has some great haste mastery gear and slots I didn't have filled yet. This was my mistake. This dungeon features the cast of main characters that will plague my nightmares for nights to come. Alright, what's our team setup? This is the +5, right? We're not even in the +7 yet? Okay. So the +5 is going to feature a prop paladin, a rep paladin, a warlock. We're missing someone. And myself reprising the role of Resto Druid Healer. So we don't know who the other DPS is. Okay. Yeah, this is a +5. So I think we're going to get to the 7. The +5 Halls of Atonement we did went off without any major issues. We had one death from the Warrior Ninja pulling. The other class is a Warrior. There we go. From the Warrior Ninja pulling and then not using any defensives. Lock rocks are taking the mobs... no defensive lock rocks are taking the mobs to the tank. The tank was able to chain pull consistently and we breezed through the dungeon. I can't remember how much extra time we had, but it was close to 10 minutes on finishing that +5. Riding this high and seeing how well my group did, I thought, these guys can do a 7. Easy. This is the thought that was to ruin the rest of my night. How could it be so much more difficult to do the exact same dungeon with a team that finished it 10 minutes early, just 2 levels higher? Especially as the affix is just volcanic. I agree, actually. What the hell can go wrong? And for the most part, it didn't ruin anything. What ruined the dungeon was apparently 7 is too high a number for them to count. As a 24-year-old guy, I've been playing this game for over half my life after starting in late the Burning Crusade. At one point early on, I was that little squeaker on Ventrilo, TeamSpeak or Discord, but I've always been pretty smart. I don't think I was ever as brain dead as my group members were when this dial turned all the way up to 7. The first red flag was before I even put the keystone in. The tank asked me, "Hey guys, is it cool if I take the pulls a little bit more methodically? I would really like to time this key." Now, Preacher, I don't know about you, but when someone asks something like that for a +7, I start to get nervous. No, I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. That's fine. I started to wonder, why does he need to ask? He's the tank. Okay. We slaughtered the +5. He was able to chain pull the first few packs up to the construct on the right side. This is where we started to run into issues. As you're aware, the constructs do moderate pulsing AoE damage, and the other mobs can do some pretty bad hits. This is when I noticed the warrior not really doing anything to try and help me heal them through, when everyone else does. This is my first expansion back to Resto Druid. I'm not the most geared individual, but we make it through and move on to the other side with the 2 constructs. The first on the platform above that goes down in a fashion much like the first one. This is when we hit the wall. The Gorgons. I'm going to tell you this. Fuck those little mutant bears. They suck, but the worst mechanic about them is totally avoidable if you kill the huntsman fast enough or stun him. In the +5, no issues. Actually, it's weird, actually. It changes as you get higher, and the bleed is so much worse than them being enraged. We either killed it or one of the paladins just hodged it. It was great. But apparently as dungeons get harder, the less you have to worry about mechanics by the apparent logic of this group. I did my best to soothe one of the Gorgons after the cast would go off and heal through the rest, but with the anemic burst healing damage mitigation toolkit given to the Resto Druids, I couldn't keep up with the damage. I would give the tank everything! Iron Bark him, swiftness, spam! Nothing. After the first wipe, I just thought I'll chip in a little bit. Maybe the guys are a bit nervous, you know? Maybe it's their first +7. Hey, guys! Guys! Someone needs to stop the Loyal Beast cast, okay? Alright? That's what makes the bears go big. Cool. No one in the group responded. We ran back, jumped down, pulled the bears, and we all died. 3 times we died to the same pack of bears. After each attempt, I repeated my request. Hey, guys! Little interrupty action, okay? I even started whispering specific people, asking them to deal with it. No success. If I remember class abilities properly, the warrior could pummel. No, you can't kick Loyal Beasts. One of our paladins could hodge them? Correct. But no, apparently they couldn't do that. Which is weird, though, because that's what they were doing in a +5. We eventually went down the stairs and fought around to the construct, skipping the Gargon pack. Oh, they just skipped it? What about the middle pack? Oh, no. You can't just bypass it. You've got to do it again in a second, and then you've got to do it after the other boss? Oh, bruh. We made our way to the first boss, killed it no problem, and kept moving. We wiped once in the courtyard after I accidentally pulled the pack to the left of the staircase, heading up from the first boss. Happens every time. When I stepped a little too far left to avoid a volcano. We rezzed and returned and fought through some of the trash, even skipping a lot of the mobs by using a gateway and timing it with the gargoyles turning to stone at the bottom of the stairs. I thought things were turning around as we were actually gaining momentum, but I was so painfully wrong. We killed that second boss. Oh, okay. We killed that second boss, no problem. We made our way in. We fought the 3 Gargons and 2 Huntsmen. And guess what? We didn't wipe. Well, there's nothing left in the dungeon, right? What's left after that? There's like 2 trash packs. That's it. Although no one bothered to CC, aside from me vortexing and stuff, or interrupting the Huntsman, the Paladin kited the Gorgons during their enrage and we finished them off. The only casualty being somehow the warrior. I'm not clear what happened, but from my point of view, he just got slapped. He pulled aggro on a bear. Anyway, we progressed through. We killed the trash before the 3rd boss. You can't die here, right? The 3rd boss? The 3rd boss. Oh, they lack percentage. God, you guys are so smart. They haven't got count. The Inquisitor and Chamberlain falls. Now, you might be wondering what's so bad about that, aside from a few wipes. We didn't do too bad, but here's the thing. It isn't over. We had skipped a lot of the trash. We had 85% count. After the last boss, we port back to the beginning of the dungeon just to kill some trash to finish the percentage. We head back outside. I don't think much of it. Some of us have been here before. On the run back, the group was bitching about the Gorgons having their way with us, to which I say, yeah, guys, you just have to stun or interrupt loyal beasts, or they'll fuck you up. We arrive at the courtyard and the tank pulls a gargoyle. We kill it. The other gargoyle is stone and we still have a ways to go on percentage. Our tank pulls a pack of stoneborn or whatever they're called and begins tanking them towards the bottom of the stairs. Wait, you started to re-clear the trash before the second boss? You went all that way? Oh my god. What are you doing? Why? Why are you doing that? Oh my god. What the fuck? I only just realized what's happened. They've gone back to the trash at the second boss. Ah! No! Stop! I beg. Now, I don't know if you can tell what's about to come next, but the gargoyles don't stay stone forever. So I tell the tank, let's go up the stairs. He stands still. The gargoyle pulls out his carved gargoyle dick and shafts the tank. I tried to battle res the tank because Druid, but he takes too long to click on the res, and we all wipe. At this point, I'm in disbelief. We just wiped trying to kill trash to complete the dungeon. We run back, and the tank decides he's done with the run and just wants to get it over with. He pulls 3 packs of trash at the same time to speed things up and beat the timer. We wipe. I'm dumbstruck at this decision-making process. He then does it again. After this wipe, he just puts lol fuck me in the party chat after his twin colossal failures. At this point, I'm more dribbling than anything else. Thankfully, between the wipes and through creative plays by the Warlock, we've been able to kill some mobs. What is happening? What the fuck is going on? You've just got to kill, like, what are you doing? I don't get it. We've been able to kill some mobs. So this poor Warlock, right, is just kiting stuff around this dungeon while these guys keep running backwards and forwards, dying. And this frigging Warlock is just running circles up and down stairs, no doubt, just letting dots tick on stuff until it eventually dies. Yeah, this Warlock is just soloing trash at this point. I'm typically a very relaxed gamer. Not much bothers me. I've grown to understand that people might not pick up on things as fast as me or put 2 and 2 together in some way. I do, but you better believe me when I say I was fucking raging. After all this, I'm muttering things to myself like, come on, man. Why? Just finish, for Christ's sake. We wiped 2 more times, trying to kill trash. We finally kill the last mob we need and complete the dungeon. Now, thankfully, I got a staff from the +5, and I even got a ring from the +7. 2 loots from M+. This story's fake. Fake as fuck. So fake. 2 items from 2 runs. Bullshit. Never happened. Both pretty good upgrades. Even now, as I write this, I'm in disbelief over the events that transpired. It took us no less than 7 wipes to kill the trash after the dungeon was finished. To get count. We were at 56 deaths. If there's one thing I learned from this, it's just stun some shit sometimes. Or maybe I should just stop pugging low keys, because honestly, fuck that noise. You might be interested in this week's TDP. You might be interested in this week's TDP, where me and Finn did go pugging some low keys for science. No. There's many mistakes that our druid made as well, unquestionably. Thank you, Preacher, for reading my little story. I hope you and your chat enjoyed it as much as I died in the inside while experiencing this moment. I've been a fan of Drama Time for a while now, listening to it while I'm doing homework or slaving away at work. Thanks for everything you do. And chat, I swear, I am not guilty. I mean, pretty guilty, honestly. Little bit guilty. You think doubt. He's not a meme. A little bit guilty. A little bit guilty. I think so. You did pug, though, and that is what you're going to get out of that. Ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to the end of drama. And next week, I think we will be probably kicking off with this one, which is That Time I Screwed the GM Out of Frostmourne. Interesting. Frostmourne? We'll see how that goes. Well, other than that, I'm not sure if we are doing any streams over the weekend. It'll be entirely up to my wife of whether that will happen, but probably not. It's family time, so we'll see what's going to happen. I will let you know on the Twitter if there is going to be such a thing. I will see you definitely again, though, on Monday. All I can tell you is it's called The Time I Screwed My GM Out of Frostmourne, so we'll see. I know, I think Shadowmourne too, but it says Frostmourne here. That's the title of the story, so we'll wait and see what it has to be. Thank you so much for tuning in with us all week. I'll see you again. Bye, everybody. Be good. Where's my ending? There it is.